and welcome to BPAM. Today we're going to look at editing our maps in BPAM Mobile and then making them available in Web App and in the Advisor Manager program. So first of all, we want to make sure that the file that we're looking at is closed in both Web App mapping and in the Advisor Manager program. So I'm going to be working in the below file, which is not open anywhere. So that is ready for me to go. So if I go to BPAM Mobile, I'm going to touch on farm management and I'll touch into the below file and touch done and let that sync on the way in. Right, once we're in there, I'm going to go into the map and I'm going to make my changes. So in this case, I'm going to make the T6 paddock down here a bit smaller and come up in line with this instead of including the house block. So if I zoom in on T6 there, what I'm going to do is touch select in the top toolbar, touch on T6, which is going to select that for me. And now I'm going to go to commands up the top and edit T6. So now you'll see that brings up all of these little pins here, and these are all the points of my polygon. So what I want to do is touch and hold on the one that I want to move until it jumps up, and then drag and drop it where I want it to be. Now, this is only as accurate as your fingers are or your thumbs. And in my case, that is not accurate at all. So I'm hoping that your experience or your points end up a little better than mine. Okay, so that's looking pretty good, but I do want to, oops, dropped an extra pin. If you do happen to drop an extra pin, just touch on the little X and you'll be able to delete it. So this one, I really want that to go about there. Okay, so I am now happy with that. So I'm going to touch done in the top toolbar, beauty. And you can see that my line now goes straight across with that one. Okay, so I've made that change to that paddock. I can add any new paddocks that I wanted to with a combination of the farm tab in the mobile app and the mapping tab, but I won't in this instance. So now I want to make this available everywhere else. So the first thing I need to do is sync this change. So my recommendation when you're finishing any task in BPAM Mobile or when you need to sync is to touch the burger menu in the top left corner. That's the 3 lines. Touch sync open file now. Wait for that to process. And then we're going to touch back to home. That's going to take us back to this home screen here, which is just our reminder that we only want to have our client file open in one place at a time. So I'm going to put my phone down now and we're going to move my iPad to the side there. And I want to just refresh this screen on BPAM Mobile. Now what we should see is that there are updates available. It's having a good think, which is excellent. But the first place we actually need to go to make these changes visible is in Web App. So if we go down here into Web App, which is webapp.bpam.com.au in your browser, and we want to go to the client file in the top left of the mapping page. Here we go. And I can see here that my T6 paddock has that change. So it doesn't include the house block anymore. It just shows the edited paddock that I just completed on the mobile app. So that change is already visible in Web App, which is essentially instant as long as it's synchronized on the mobile app. However, the Advisor Manager program does need an additional step to see this new information that's been created on the mobile app for mapping because it does use a different mapping language, and Web App is our little middleman where it can take this information and send it across. So to do that, we want to click on the plus sign in the bottom right, click on Import Export, go to the BPAM tab, and we are going to export maps to BPAM. Okay, so that said in the bottom right corner here that was successful. So what we want to do is just give that a few minutes, and in the advisor program, we should see here that updates become available at around about now. So I'll just refresh this. I'll give it a couple of minutes and then I'll restart this recording. Okay, I've given that another minute, so I'm just going to click on refresh file list, which just updates this information we see here. I can see that my Billo file has an update available, so let's double click to go into that file and confirm the sync. Okay, so we can see my paddocks here. I'm going to jump across to mapping and click on this little mapping icon here. And we can see down the bottom here, my T6 paddock no longer includes the little house block, so it has been edited as per my changes made on Back Paddock Mobile. So I've now updated my paddock polygon on Back Paddock Mobile. I've opened that in Web App and I've used the Web App tool to export those changes through to the Advisor Manager program. My job there is done. Thanks for joining me.